Guys, I'm also on my third drink, so like this is where my personality starts to form.
Favorite new places that you've tried or visited this year in 2025? Where would you move if you had to leave Austin? What does your FYP look like right now?
Welcome to another episode of the Austin Pod. We are at Travelers Lounge in East Austin, a bar that we both love very much. But I don't know if you could hear, if you can't, great. If you can, we want to give you a warning at the very beginning because while we're in here, it's pouring out right now. And we are in a double-decker bus, so
We are.
it is like right next to us, which it never
is.
rains in Austin, but it's going to rain when we're doing our podcast.
I know, literally the day of recording, it decides to downpour. But I was just telling Anthony, like, it's actually been a rainy summer this year, which I'm not complaining about. I know other people hate that, but I'm like, I'm here for it, just not on days we record. But
Yeah, I was saying it like kind of cools it down a little bit, which is really nice.
But again, if you're new here, hi, I'm Rachel. I run 512 Bites and Rachel Lately, and Anthony runs the ATX Drinker and the Whiskey Boys, and this is the Austin Pod. We love doing these little videos in different places. And today is a special one, like Anthony said, because we're a Travelers Lounge in a double-decker bus in the rain. So you're not going to find another podcast doing this, to be honest. Like, are we the first podcast in a double-decker bus?
I think we are.
I don't know if that's true, but I'm just going to declare it right now.
We start trends. That's what we're doing.
We're just trendsetters.
And, you know, this is so random. This has nothing to do with Austin, but I've been listening to like a new YouTube channel where it's like boring history. It's called that. That's called boring history to fall asleep to. And it's this guy and he'll be like, this is what it was like to live in the medieval times. And he's like, you'll wake up at this time and you'll go work in the fields. And it's actually interesting if you like history.
I do like history.
Okay, so
I feel like I would like this.
And that's what I do. Like, so before I go to bed, I walk my dog Nellie in East Austin.
While listening.
And then I go lay down in bed and like I check some things on my phone before I fall asleep. But I've been putting that on, and it's reminding me of this episode that if they can hear it, like this is probably a good episode to listen to before bed because you're hearing the soothing sounds of the rain.
I know. Maybe we should just not have our voices on this episode and just play the nice, soothing rain.
I'm just going to hold it up to the window for y'all so you can just hear that.
I mean, I love the sound of rain. I can't believe I'm not in my apartment right now.
Actually, being here in person is kind of cool right now.
I know.
I like it.
We're here for it. Today, we are doing another Q&A episode. We did one in our last season, last year in 2024, and we asked y'all on Instagram to ask us some questions to do with life, Austin, Rex, gossip, whatever. So we're going to get to that in a little later. But first, I want to catch up with Anthony because he did something crazy that I was like, bro, he did it last night, and I was like, are you even gonna make it to the podcast today? But he did. Tell them what you got up to.
I'm not like the biggest believer in drinking all the time because I think you need to take breaks. It's for health, whatever. But today is one of those days I'm having some drinks because the best way to get over what I did yesterday is to have more drinks. Was it like hair of the dog, right? So yesterday I made this crazy decision, and you know me, I'm already the ATX drinker, so I drink a ton. But I saw this other fun video. This guy did it in Manhattan. So he did 13 countries at 13 spots, kind of like when you go to Disney World and you can hop around into the different countries and drink. So he did that in Manhattan where he went to like an Irish bar and got a drink. And then he went to a German bar and got a drink. And I was like, I need to do that in Austin.
So smart.
So I did like a bunch of research. I wrote down all the different places I could do and then I narrowed them down. And after looking at it, I was like, I'm going to do 11, not 13. I thought 13 was a little too hard with time.
Oh, okay.
Because Manhattan, I guess you could like walk some places or like quick Ubers.
True.
Austin, you have to go all around the city.
Yes.
You know? And there's not as many, like, you know, New York City is a diverse melting pot. So we don't have as many places.
Yeah, for sure.
But I was able to make it work with 11 places.
Wow.
And also timing, because you know how the Austin traffic is. So I had to, like, hop in an Uber. Once it hits, like, what is it, like 3:30 to 6 in Austin is terrible.
Yeah.
You know?
100%.
So I had to, like, keep that in mind. We started at 1 o'clock.
You started at 1 p.m.?
And we finished at 11:30. Yeah.
I assume you started at like 10 a.m.
No,
like getting a head start in the day.
And Kelsey's like the most bubbly, friendly person in the world. So every bar we go, I have to be like, come on, Kelsey, we got to go to the next bar. And she's like petting a dog or talking to like some new friends that she just met. And I always joke about it because I'm like, she helps me so much with my content by having her, and she's so like laid back. She's not somebody that's like, you're always on your phone. She doesn't even bring her phone. Like that's why we work, because I'm the social media person.
Yes.
So anyway, every bar I was like, all right, we got to do like a half an hour at every place. We ended up doing like an hour at every place.
Wow.
There was only one place, like Broken Spoke, we went to. I went and had a beer and walked right out. We did America.
Oh.
And I did Budweiser, which some people were like, you should have did a Texas beer. But I was like, I wanted it to be like American, I guess. Like, what does everybody from every state recognize as American beer, I guess?
Oh, man. Yeah.
But anyway, so I started at Schultz Garden, which is the oldest beer garden in the U.S. And I got a Hefeweiser, which is a German beer. So that was for Germany. Then we went to Clay Pit, which is an Indian restaurant, but they have like a little bar area you can get drinks from.
Love that.
We went to Mort Sabit. I always mess it. It's Mort Sabit, which is a Belgian bar on Congress.
Yes.
Really cool.
Love that.
And then I'm just trying to see if I can remember the whole day. Then we went to Kelly's Irish Pub. We went to Aussie's for an Australian bar. We went to Havana for a Cuban bar. We went to Malanga Room for an Argentinian bar. We went to Justine's for France. And then we went to Domo Allegato, which is like a Ramen Tatsuya spin-off bar, and for Japan. And then we went Finnish because I live right next to it, La Perla for Mexico.
Wow. Didn't even end with a margarita.
I did a Modelo.
I know. I saw.
Yeah. So that was truly one of the roughest drinking days since being the ATX drinker.
Yeah. How drunk were you at the end of it?
I did a good job at being like, all right, like one bar, I just like drank half a beer and moved on. But there was some, like, I got caught up in situations like we went to Kelly's, we got a Guinness, and then the bartender was like, you got to get a whiskey shot. And then somebody actually recognized me down the bar and was like, I'm buying him a drink. And I wasn't going to be like, no, I don't want it. I was like, all right, thank you. Like, I really appreciated it and everything. So I took a whiskey shot, you know? Yeah. And then same thing. Like, I went to Habana, and great place, by the way. Cuban restaurant. You can have cigars on the patio and mojitos. They make mojitos like just like they used to back in the day. And he was like, you got to try our old fashioned. So he made me another cocktail.
What made it a Cuban old fashioned?
I don't know like specifically, but this is what he said. They put like coconut shavings into the frozen ice that goes in like the old fashioned. And like as it melts, the coconut shavings like blend in with it and gives it like this coconut flavor. It was really interesting.
That is so nice.
So it was a wild journey.
And how did Kelsey do throughout the whole day?
I also just remember something that I wanted to bring up to you. I'll tell you. Kelsey was funny because she's not good at controlling herself or keeping pace. Like she's like, we're about to go to another bar, she'll look at the table, and if there's like a couple drinks still half full, she's like, we have to finish those. So she'll shoot back cocktails before we leave. And I'm like, well, girl, what are you doing?
Damn.
And I even prepped her. I was like, this is a long day. Let's stay focused, in and out, next bar. And it was like by like bar 4, I had to say to her, I was like, next bar, you're getting water. And that's it. And then you can start drinking again at the next one. Yeah. And she was like, okay.
Have y'all done Epcot?
No, but I know about it, but I haven't done it.
So I went with my boyfriend for my birthday a year or two ago, and I literally could not do the drinking around the world. I think I quit after 3 drinks. I was like, all right. Like, after a margarita in Mexico, a beer in Germany, and then another beer in America, I was like, you know what? I'm good. Like, I can't do this. And I had to
be fair, and this is good. This is healthy, and it's the right way to be. Because I love how you are. You still drink, which I think most people shouldn't think it's like the worst thing in the world. There's a big movement about being sober nowadays, and I get it. If you need to be like that, totally. But it's also not the devil, right? But what I like about you is like you still drink, you still have a good time, but you control yourself and you don't go ham. Like you have a drink or two and you have a great night and you're good.
I physically cannot go ham anymore, and I don't like to be a nuisance to other people. Like, not that I can get even to that level, but just the thought of anyone having to like, I don't know, like look after me, I can't handle that guilt. And I also, after my last like bad hangover, like who knows when that was, 2016 maybe, I was like, I'm never going through this pain again.
I've had a couple of those nights recently.
Yeah, I don't know how you do it. But
it's so bad.
Regardless, that's really impressive, doing 11 bars in one day that aren't like, like in Manhattan, like you said, back to back to back.
Yeah, I had to go a little north in Austin. I had to go a little south in Austin, downtown, East Austin. It's crazy.
Incredible. I'm in awe of you. What was the story?
So random. I just thought this would be funny to bring up on the podcast. And if the person is listening, this is all due to just like it being interesting. But, I go out a lot, right? And I get recognized a lot. And I think it makes sense because obviously the large following, but I always joke and say, some people have large followings, but they're a fashion page. So they might have followers from all over the US. So they're not going to get recognized as much because people live everywhere. Me, literally all my followers are in Austin and at bars. So it's like I go to the places that I'm going to be seen. So it's very common and I love it. I'm a very extroverted person most of the time. And sometimes I have some interesting interactions. Like a lot of times I end up meeting friends, but there's certain times where I'm like, that was a little odd. But I had the one night where this guy was like, oh, hey, love your stuff. At first it was like all good. And he's like, but I always thought you were a dick. And I was just like, whoa. And if people who do know me, like, I'm a very nice person. It's weird coming from my mouth, like saying that. I have to tell people that. But everybody is just like, oh, they say I am a nice person. And I've even had that happen where they're like, I just assumed like you were an influencer or you were a jerk or whatever. And I met you. They're like, wow, you're just a laid back dude. Like I've had that happen many times.
And this happened during the 11 bar challenge?
No, this happened like a few days before this. But I was like, oh, I got to bring this up on the Awesome Pod. And this guy was like, yeah, I just thought you were a dick. And I was like, well, why? I thought the same thing. Maybe he thought I hate all influencers, so I don't like you either. Maybe that was what it was. No, he was like, oh, I saw you like a year ago at one of the concerts. How Still Austin does like the UT pre-games and they have concerts. And he said like he was in the crowd and he raised his glass to cheers to me from a distance. And I didn't cheers back. I don't remember seeing him.
You didn't see him?
For sure.
Yeah.
And that's it. Like I just didn't cheers back. He's like, that guy's a dick.
Dude, that's crazy.
And I just thought that was interesting for being creators like we are, that like something that you're not even aware of can happen, something small.
Oh, 100%.
And people will just label you.
100%.
Now I will say this: if you are watching, I'm sorry, but he was super nice. And like after talking to me, he was like, I actually like you, dude, or whatever. And we became friends. And I was like, I hope I see you guys again. And I meant that. And like. It ended up being really good, but he showed me like a new perspective of that can happen. Maybe you're walking down the street and somebody goes, hi, Rachel, I love you. And you go, oh, hi. And you keep walking and like, screw her. When you were just.
No, literally. You never know.
You never know.
And that's why, like, especially going out to drink at bars or eat at restaurants, if people say a waitress was rude or whatever, I'm like, okay, was she? Or like, is she just having an off day?
100%.
Is she like super in the weeds right now? I try to give like everyone the benefit of the doubt if I have a not so great experience with them. Like I have a friend who said she met a mutual of mine at the concourse and she was like, oh, she was so rude to me. And I'm like, was she? Like, what do you mean? And she was just like, oh, hi. And I'm like, but like, you know what I mean?
Was that actually mean or did you just take her attitude wrong?
Yeah. Or was she like, I don't know, overstimulated and just like needed to get out of there. And so she wasn't like warm and welcoming, or maybe like she got in a fight with her boyfriend. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
This is why anytime I meet people, if it's not so great, I'm just like, okay, well, you never know like what they're like on a good day. You never know.
And I feel proud about that, but I handle, like you said, service industry people like that. I've had many instances where I go to a bar and they were actually like a jerk to me. And this is even before I had the ATX Drinker page. And I remember thinking like, what the heck? Like I come up to the bar, hey, how are you doing? Can I get a shot? Like that's usually how I am. I'm very happy to be there, whatever. And they're like, what do you want? And the person I am now is like, all right, well, you know what? Maybe they are going through something.
Yeah.
Like I never judge them. I'm not going to Google to give them a bad review,
Oh my gosh. People that do that are psychotic to me. Like,
because they'll never give a good review.
I know. And you have one bad experience and you feel the need to like get on your keyboard and talk shit. Like that's just so unrelatable to me.
Same.
Well, I'm glad he was able to meet you and have a better experience. And yeah, if you see us out and about, like if it's in a crowd, like yours was in a crowd, like maybe we like aren't registering like what's going around. We're overstimulated. You know what I mean?
100%. Or like, what if you see somebody that you don't know, and then to me, maybe I'm a creator, so they recognize me, But I'm like, oh, maybe they're looking at the person behind me,
Yeah,
saying hi to them.
Yeah, maybe they thought, or you thought they were waving at someone behind you. You never know.
And I can't assume that. And that's also like rude for me to be like, oh, it's because they know me and they're recognizing me.
Yeah, you would never be like, like that would be insane.
Oh, insane. Yeah.
No.
I love cheersing, by the way. It's my favorite thing to do.
Exactly. Wow. I was going to say, like, what are you doing for the fourth weekend? But
I mean, right now it's raining, so we were just talking about that before we hopped on the pod. Like, is it going to be a rainy weekend? I guess we'll know Monday because that's when you guys are going to be listening to this, or the week after. But I know I'm planning to go to the W with some friends. We're getting a cabana and just going to have like a pool day. Did you have something planned?
we were going to go on a boat, but now I'm like, I fear it might not be happening. But there is, I just like learned about this like party bus that you can actually take to Lake Travis. But it's like, my friends went on it and it looks so sick. So I feel like people that want like not just a boring bus to Lake Travis would want to know about it.
I want to hear about this.
It's called Let's Roll ATX. They are a party bus that has like, oh my God, I need to like put up an image of it, but it's just like,
I can add one to the thing.
okay, like it just looks like a club.
Okay.
Is the best way to say it. Like the buses I've been on are never fun. And my friends were telling me about it. They were like, it was just a great time. Like you choose the music and it's bumping and there's drinks allowed and coolers and it looks sick. So I feel like if you want to like keep the party going for Lake Travis, maybe like that's a good option. But I was told that they can also take you to like Fredericksburg for like wine tours or like a birthday party or just getting a bunch of people together when you don't want to drive. So, we're probably going to do that. They sold me on it. So I'll let you know.
Yeah, I want to hear how that goes.
There might be a stripper pole in the middle of it too.
Oh my God.
TBD.
All right, I'm coming. You're like, Anthony, I thought you're supposed to be with your friends. Why are you hanging out with us?
I know, but it's so rainy that I feel like it's going to have to wait a bit.
Yeah. I think I saw it said 20% for 4th of July, so you guys will know it when you see this, how it went down.
Yeah, 100%.
By the way, I'm going to probably put a B-roll over this. I wanted to spotlight their cocktails because they do make amazing cocktails. Very talented bartenders that used to work in New York and Miami. We did another pod. I don't know if this is already out or if it's coming out after this episode. You could see by just looking at the YouTube channel. But they told their whole story. We did a full interview with them. Amazing people. And amazing cocktails. This one is actually a Captain Crunch infused old fashioned, which is wild. It's so good that I want to like do a Whiskey Boys video after this. And it's cool because they use Mexican whiskey in it.
Oh.
Isn't that cool?
Mexican whiskey?
Mexican whiskey.
Okay.
So like bourbon whiskey, if it's called bourbon, it's made in the US. But whiskey can be made in anywhere in the world. It's like very unique. And they said they use chocolate bitters. They infuse the Captain Crunch. And then they do like a silver coated cherry on top and then an orange cookie instead of like an orange peel.
Ooh.
I know.
You sold me at the Captain Crunch part, to be honest.
It's so good. I'm actually really... Sometimes like we were talking about this in another episode, Christmas drinks sometimes are just too much or too sugary or too like
milky.
desserty. Yeah. This is, even though this is not a Christmas one, but I was worried it would be like that. Not at all.
Okay.
Not at all. Which makes me think of Miracle on 11th Street in Austin. What was that?
On 5th?
On 5th. Did you see that they just opened up a new concept, which I don't know if they've ever done this in the past.
Oh, the Pirate Bar?
The Pirate Bar. It looks pretty interesting.
They've done it in the past.
Okay,
yeah.
they have.
Yeah.
Like I was
cool.
wondering if they only used the venue just for like Christmas ones in the past or what.
Oh yeah, you're right.
Because this is a new concept. Like, so obviously every holiday around Christmas they'll do the Christmas pop-up, which is arguably the best, just very pricey. But this one is in the off season in the summertime, and it's like a full decked out pirate themed bar. People even go dressed up, all this stuff. So it looked interesting. I couldn't make it because the opening was like Monday night.
Oh, was it?
Yeah, and I was like, I can't come like at 3:00 on a Monday.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, they did it like in 2023, and I went then, and it was pretty cool. I think it's running until the end of August. So if you are looking for a theme with more tiki drinks, I assume.
Yeah.
The Eleanor on 5th Street.
Next to the Roosevelt Room.
There you go. Should we hop into our questions?
Q&A time?
Q&A time.
Let's make it only personal questions. I'm a Pisces.
I'm like, the only personal question I got was, do you smoke weed?
Did you get that?
Yes.
I mean, we can answer it because it is Austin. I don't.
Yeah, it's a boring answer.
Yeah.
Like, no.
Do you ever do edibles or like
No, dude.
gummies?
I
No.
did Delta 8 once, like a bite
Okay.
of a little brownie. And I was told, oh, it'll just like relax you and make you like fall asleep. No. I thought I was going to fall off the face of the earth. Like, and then your brain was just static. And I was like, wow, I hate this. And I'm like, I'm just going to go to sleep. But it keeps you awake. Like, your brain is nonstop.
I'm the same way.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like I don't like the way it like reacts in my body and makes me freak out a little bit.
Yeah, same.
And I wish I could because
Same.
it's
Seems
0
cool.
calories. Like you could smoke.
You're going to get hungry after.
This is always the argument I hear. Yeah, you are right. But that was my, like, alcohol. You party all day. A cocktail can be 100 to 300 calories depending on what you get. So it's just, I don't like that aspect to it.
Yeah.
But with weed, like the people that are like, yeah, this weekend I'm just going to smoke some weed. I'm like a little jealous of them because I don't like the way it reacts to me. So it's not my thing.
I know one of my besties is like a huge pothead, and he's like, you just need to find the right like type. And he's like made me try a bunch, and I'm like, I don't like this.
It's not working.
Like,
It's not happening.
yeah, he finally gave up
Oh,
when we were in college.
that's funny.
Okay, what about your favorite or some of your favorite new places that you've tried or visited this year in 2025? So my personal favorites of 2025 so far that are new that I tried this year is, well, I've talked about it on the pod like multiple times already.
That shows it's legit.
It's so good. Maybe you've been yet? Cocktail?
Yes, I did because of your recommendation.
You went?
Yeah.
Were you blown away?
I was blown away. And you know what I couldn't believe? How spicy it was, though. It was almost unbearable. And that's a negative. But the flavor was fantastic. But I mean, it was truly so spicy.
That's crazy because
And I handle spice.
another food blogger said it's not spicy. And I was like, it is actually.
It's spicy. It is and I'm not kidding you. Like when I go to places, Kelsey's like, can we order it a little cooled down because you get it too spicy? So like I order spicy foods.
Okay.
So like I
interesting.
would tell you if I can't handle spicy stuff. I can, and that was like crazy.
I didn't think it was that crazy. It was definitely spicy, but not crazy spicy for me.
I wonder if they have levels.
I think so. But I love it there. Oh, it's so good. Thinking about it now, I'm like, I want to go.
I know. Actually, I might get that today. Now that you're saying it.
Yeah, I've talked about them multiple times. They're killing it. It's a food truck on the east side. Check them out. And then one I just went to a couple weeks ago, Basil Thai. This is actually in North Austin in a strip mall near an H-E-B. And it really is like, I want to call it a hidden gem because you don't know it's there unless you suddenly know it's there. And it's Thai food, but they also have hot pot. But they have something I've never had before called dry hot pot.
Okay.
Where it comes out and it's like, it's already cooked, so you don't have to do anything, but there's no like broth. But they have it on like a little fire broiler thing, so it's keeping it like hot. And that was spicy.
Interesting.
It came with like, I'm gonna butcher this, Szechuan spices.
I think you kind of nailed it.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And it was so good, and that was spicy to where like my lips were numbing, but I like that, and I was just like, keep it coming. Like it was so good. And
I'm
then
a spicy. Like I put hot sauce on everything.
same.
Yeah.
And then lastly, this is a coffee. Well, I also call them a hidden gem because they're down like a random alley. I talked about them on our little coffee episode, but Mercado Sin Nombre, they are killing it right now. Maybe not even a hidden gem anymore because their Instagram like suddenly has over 20K followers, and I was like, how did that happen?
That's crazy.
But it's so good, and it's a great spot for like a quick breakfast, like a biscuit. They have pancakes, and it's made of masa.
Wow.
And they have a masa Twinkie for dessert, and they just really care about like their coffee drinks and what they're doing, and I'm just very impressed by them. So those are probably 3 places.
I only
that
drink
love.
at I forgot the name. Shit. What's the coffee place I always bring up on every episode? The most popular coffee place.
Desnudo?
Desnudo. I only drink at Desnudo.
You don't like coffee.
I don't drink coffee. Some of y'all know this that have been listening forever. I do not drink coffee.
Unless it's an Irish coffee.
Yes. Those are good ones. I'm happy you went with food so I can do the bars now.
Yes,
Yeah.
go with the bars.
I was just telling her that, it's interesting. Usually there's a lot of bars that open up constantly, but it's been a little slow like the last 2 months. So the one I went to recently that I really like, 456, it used to be Coral Snake, which if you go to Drinks Lounge in East Austin, it's across the street from there. It's like on East Cesar Chavez. So it's across the street from there. They took over Coral Snake. Everybody was like super upset about Coral Snake. I will say some people think that like there's been 5 bars there before and this place just never works out.
Yeah.
I think it's a great spot. Location wise, they just need the right management. What I like is I went in there before when it was Coral Snake, and they have a live band playing, and the vibes are amazing. So, Austin used to be known as like the music capital of the world, right? That gave me those vibes where I was like, how did I just end up in here on like a Thursday night and a really cool band was playing that you're just finding out about? And it gave me that like old Austin energy. So anyway, some of the same owners and new owners came in and reopened 456 that it's now called. And they have 2 things that I love. One, like the decor is amazing. It's very like old school dive bar-ish bar. Second, it's very cheap. Like we got 2 shots and 2 beers and it was they gave me a $12 bill.
Wow.
It was happy hour though.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So if you think about it, that's like $3 for each.
Yeah?
Which
Are
is
you sure
crazy.
they didn't know who you were?
No. They like they were like, well, they didn't know who I was, but they were like, this is what is going to make us special. Is our happy hour is crazy.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So they were like pushing that, like let people know about it. So if you go, I think it's like 4, 5, 6. So they do a different happy hour between 4 to 5, 5 to 6.
Oh, okay.
So they have like specials like that. So I was just impressed. Who knows? Maybe they don't stay open forever. But I think it's worth checking out at least right now. And they do live music all the time. So try to keep an eye on their Instagram page and you can check that out.
456, is that their address?
I don't think so. It had a deeper meaning, but I forgot what it was.
I'm just so like cautious or hesitant of bars or any restaurant or anything that names their business just a number.
I know. I don't like it.
I'm just like, oh, that's a little bit risky because
Yeah.
no one knows what that means.
Yep.
But
I forgot the reason. I apologize. One of the owners actually told me when I was there.
oh, okay.
And yeah, I drink alcohol, so I forget things.
And then you had another one.
Yeah, another one was actually opened in like December, I think. But I just feel that there's been a couple influencers that have went there and posted about it, and it did okay. But I don't feel like it's blowing up as much as it deserves to. So that's why I want to give it a spotlight. And that's Paper Cut. It's across from the Whole Foods in East Austin and the Target. What's that place? There's a coffee and like sandwich spot.
Brew and Brew?
Yeah,
Yeah.
right next to there.
Yeah.
What makes them unique is one, super talented bartenders. Like I'm pretty sure like somebody on the team worked at Here or There,
Okay.
the Speakeasy. And then what they do is every 3 months, if I'm not mistaken, they have a new artist come in, put paintings or different types of art on the wall, and they curate the drink menu to match that art.
That is so cool.
Isn't that cool?
I love that.
So yeah, support them because I want them to stay open. It's funny because I think the location is great. Like you would think it's right there where East Austin starts from downtown, but it's also hidden. So I don't think like the people walking by are seeing it and just going there. You have to genuinely be like, okay, we're planning to go there type of thing.
Do they have a sign out front?
It's probably just like on the door, I think.
Is it a speakeasy?
It feels like that, but it's not.
just
You know what I
kidding.
mean? So that's my 2 places that like this year or recently I've been loving.
Somebody asked, are there any new places that you haven't been to yet that you want to try? There's a new, like, it looks like a breakfast / brunch place
Okay.
that all of the girlies are posting about right now because it's very, like, pretty. It's called Citizens of.
Yes, I did see people posting about that.
It is an Aussie style breakfast, coffee, and brunch spot on Burnett. And they also have a location in New York. So
Wow.
this is very similar to Proud Mary,
Okay.
which obviously I can't speak to Citizens because it's brand new, but I do know that Proud Mary is killing it with their coffee and breakfast. And they're also, I think they also, oh no, they have a location in Australia. So yeah, that's one place that I want to check out. So if anyone has been, let me know.
You know where I would want to go to that reminded me of, but you probably know more about it. But the reason I want to go is I'm a big fan of the movie, and it's La La Land.
Oh Oh my gosh. Everyone, you're about to see it like all over your
I believe it.
page. Yeah. I guess this is a little bit of Austin news, but a very popular coffee shop just opened up shop in the middle of South Congress, right next to Hop Dotty, and they're huge in Dallas. I've heard nothing but good things about their coffee and little pastries, but yeah, it was big like hype when they said they were coming to Austin. They chose the most like, it's a perfect area for them, but it is like so crowded that I just know it's going to be even more crowded, and that parking garage behind Hop Dotty is about to be like always full.
Jeez.
And it's like, I don't know if you've walked that area of South Congress, but it's like a tiny sidewalk right there by Hop Dotty where everyone's kind of like, oh, excuse me, sorry.
Yep.
And it's about to be even worse.
Yeah, it's crazy. I'm so fascinated by South Congress in general because it's like its own world.
It is.
Like South Congress is truly like 50% tourists and then 50% like bougie people shopping.
100%.
Right? Because I've tried to like really promote the drinking scene out there. And don't get me wrong, they have some bangers. But then that's it. Like the 5 that are there are great. Ego's, Equipment Room, White Tiger, maybe Sea Boys down the road.
Continental Club.
And Continental Club. So they're all great. But then there's nowhere, unless you're drinking at a restaurant. So to me, like, I have a fascination by South Congress because it's like, as a local, you don't really go there. Maybe for First Thursdays you would go there because Thursdays are awesome. And it was funny. This is the first time I saw this. We drove by and like even White Tiger had a line going down the street to get in.
Really?
Yep.
Wow.
Kelsey was like, "Oh my God, they're doing an event." And I was like, "It's First Thursdays," and she's like, "First Thursdays is at the South Congress Hotel." I'm like, she didn't know that First Thursdays is actually like an event that they do on Thursday nights. Not all year round, but it's to promote the businesses on Congress when it's the slow times of the year.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So did you think the same thing too?
I mean, I definitely thought it was just at the hotel.
Interesting. So I think that's a big misconception that I think would be interesting to some people because I found that out. I was talking to someone and they're like, no, they created First Thursdays for like a lot of the businesses in the area and they all do events.
Oh, okay.
To get people to come out when it's like the dead times of the year. I guess summertime, you know.
Yeah, for sure.
But that was fascinating.
Good for them. Yeah, it's kind of sad to think what could have been at South Congress if rent was affordable.
True.
Then we'd have a bunch of local bars and the businesses that were all there before would still be open. But it became insane, especially post-COVID. And now I was walking down it the other week and someone was like, "Oh yeah, this place is just like San Diego," and I was like, I'm gonna crash out right now on the street.
Oh my God. All right, ready? I'm gonna throw you, I know it's hard to throw you on the spot, but like name me, it doesn't even have to be food, it can be coffee, drinking, or eating, your 2 favorite places to go to on South Congress. Like if you were just like, you know what, I have to go to South Congress for whatever reason, these are where I would go as Rachel Laley.
Oh God. Like to eat?
Or no, just in general, like what's your favorite spots? It can be coffee, it can be food, it can be a bar. Just like what comes to mind for your personal favorites when you think of South Congress?
I mean, right away it's Continental Club. That's just
Love Continental Club.
It's just always been the same since I've moved here. It's always a good time and I love it there. And then I really don't eat on South Congress anymore.
I was intrigued by that.
I will get a home slice pizza, or their Italian sub is so good. But I love that you can just walk up to the window and get something, and it's not going to cost me like $30, whereas the surrounding restaurants will. Oh, and then of course, Equipment Room is my favorite.
Yeah, I mean it's one of the best bars.
Yeah,
Cocktail bars.
Can I call it a speakeasy? It's my favorite hi-fi listening bar.
Those are good answers.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know that. Like I said, we could do a whole episode on South Congress if we wanted to.
I thought we have.
Or did we? Or we did we did the best places on South Congress. We could do an episode on just like the history of it and everything.
If y'all want to be depressed. This one is kind of a fun question. What does your FYP look like right now?
Okay, well, for me, I don't know if it's going to be interesting to the people on here.
It's just for funsies.
But for me, it's a lot of whiskey because of the whiskey page. And then I'm a diehard New York Knicks fan. I'm not like the biggest sports guy. I like other sports like football and stuff, but right now I'm like I live and breathe basketball. Like I love basketball. I played varsity basketball. 10th grade I made the varsity team. It's not very easy to, make varsity as a 10th grader, So I played varsity 10th grade, 11th grade, 12th grade. Didn't care about schooling. So I've got actually college offers, but I didn't take care of my grades, and I ended up just going to like community college. But always my whole life, like when I was in 6th grade, I was playing basketball. My parents took me to summer camps. So anyway, deeper story just to tell you that I'm a very passionate basketball fan, and I grew up loving the New York Knicks. And right now it's the off season, but they're like getting new players, they're getting a new coach, and literally my whole page is just literally it's like whiskey bottle, New York Knicks player, whiskey bottle, New York Knicks player.
I was rooting for y'all.
I appreciate that.
That loss sucked.
Lost it, especially because there's actually weirdly a lot of Indiana Pacers fans in Austin.
I know. I was like, who are y'all?
I went to Chalmers, and the game would be like on a Wednesday or Thursday night, and it was nothing but Indiana Pacers fans.
Wow.
And I was secretly rooting against them because I went during the finals.
You didn't show up in your Knicks jersey.
And I was like the other team would score. Like, yes. And the whole crowd was like, what was he?
But thankfully, they didn't win the whole thing.
They didn't. Yeah. So I feel good.
Who was it again?
It was Oklahoma City Thunder.
Yes.
Which I found out is like a 7-hour drive from here.
Yeah. I've never been.
Because we were talking about going to like a game one time.
Oh, okay.
We're like, if the Knicks make the finals and they play them, like we could drive there, which would be really fun.
Oh, that'd be sick.
Yeah.
Maybe next year.
Yeah. What's your FYP?
Well, right now it's all Love Island of this season.
Amazing.
It's crazy. Like, Anthony didn't know this, but it's a show that you have to watch every day. Like,
I genuinely did not.
It's crazy.
So they release it online?
No, it's on Peacock. And it's every day except Wednesdays and Saturdays. And you can like actually vote like who your favorites are. And then they'll like show it the next day and be like, the most voted favorite girl is, and then whoever like doesn't get any votes like can get like off the show.
Interesting.
So it's really interesting because everything's in real time. And the way they edit is so fast that I'm like, meanwhile, I'm waiting 2 years for House of the Dragon to come out, and they're able to get an episode up every day. Like, get it together,
wow.
HBO Max. And then I am going to Europe, Switzerland in August, and I haven't been to Europe since. So cool. I haven't been to Europe since 2016. When I was 25, I did like a 6-week backpacking trip by myself. And this is my first time going with a partner. And I'm very, nervous about that. But also, like, we both don't like to plan things.
Okay.
So he's like, well, what do you think about this? And I'm like, I don't know. Like, whatever you want. And he's like, no, I want you to help me. And I'm like, it stresses me out. Like
that sounds like a challenge. I will say I'm the planner. I love planning things.
Love that for Kelsey.
And that fits her personality because she's just like, what are we doing?
Yeah.
I'm like, we have a flight tomorrow to Europe. And she's like, oh, I forgot to take off. Like, bro.
I love that for her so much.
But you got to tell me all about that. I think that's very exciting though. Like you said, you haven't traveled with a partner. And you guys are obviously great for each other from what I've seen and what I know of y'all. So I'm excited for y'all to like have that experience.
I have been to Japan with a partner.
Okay.
It was not good.
But that one was a relationship that wasn't going to work.
Yeah.
So that's
yeah. It was never going to work. But Japan really like showed me, oh, we're way too different. It was bad.
Well, I think it was Bill Murray actually. Which two things? One, Bill Murray said that he was like, travel with a person you love because you'll learn if it's real or not. I thought that was great.
So true.
I used to be a big quote guy in my early 20s. Anyway. But also, I did Butler Pitch and Putt. And Bill Murray's like clothing brand reached out to me and was like, we want to send you like polos and stuff like that. And I'm like, if you guys want to do some promo, I'll do it. But then it never went anywhere. But I thought that was because Bill Murray does a lot in Austin, surprisingly.
Yeah, he loves it here.
Yeah.
Another question. Where would you move if you had to leave Austin? Like,
great question.
Yeah, like
because I'm very passionate about this.
Oh, okay.
I always say like I love Austin to death. Like I'm absolutely okay living here for the rest of my life. But I'm also very passionate about like if you don't like where you live, you should move. And I think not enough people do that in life. I mean that like 70% probably want to move and they don't. To me, I will say my number one factor in life is weather. And I'm a very like weather changes my attitude. It makes me feel good. So for me, it would be like, where's the perfect weather? And I remember I was even like diving into Hawaii at one point, and then I realized it really is so far out there that it's like hard to get Amazon packages. It's hard to like,
I didn't know
there's
that.
not as much entertainment. So like, you're not going to get DJs coming to the concourse like we get here all the time.
True.
You have to be okay with just like being home all the time and having like the most beautiful place in the world to live. But if you're into entertainment and going out to bars like we are in Austin, it's not going to work in Hawaii. And as much as I hate how bougie it is, my go-to would probably be San Diego.
Okay.
Because I heard if it's like one of the cities in the U.S. that it is truly 70 to 80 all year. Mm-hmm. And that's my main reason. And you get nightlife and you get food, and I heard it's pricey, but as somebody who doesn't have a family, like renting an apartment there would be no big deal. Mm-hmm. So it would work for me, but I probably won't leave Austin.
If New York never got cold, would it be New York?
Oh, yeah. I always say, like, New York is in my top 3 favorite cities.
Yeah.
And I've never even been to San Diego, so I can't even say anything about that.
Yeah.
So, yeah, absolutely. To me, like, the cold weather ruins it. The cost of living ruins it.
Yeah.
But I love New York City. It truly is diverse. You're not going to find better nightlife. And then the food scene is crazy.
Yeah. My initial thought to this question was, I would go to Brooklyn, like New York. I would love it. But then my friends who moved there 2 years ago, they say they really do get depressed in the winter. They're like, it's rough.
It's
like,
real.
Like, especially coming from sunny Texas, like, you're like, oh God, I just miss the sun. And I'm like, I don't know if I could handle that.
So without New York, where would it be?
So we actually have the same answer.
No way.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
But there's a reason for that, because it was either New York or Denver I looked into for a long time. And then I realized, like, out of every acquaintance or friend I've ever had, people who move away to New York or Portland, Denver, Nashville, Miami, whatever, they eventually come back to Austin.
Interesting.
But I have had like a handful of acquaintances who moved to San Diego or went back to San Diego, and they've never came back. And I'm like, I get it, because it's like just full sunshine. You're by the beach there. I think people who give up the beach to come to Austin, like,
it sounds crazy.
Like, I bet
because I have friends that did that.
I bet like they're okay with it for like 5 years, maybe 10 if we're pushing it. But then I think people who grew up by the beach really want to be back
100%.
by the beach.
Yeah.
And it does make me happy, the beach. So I feel like I would make it happen over there.
Because the only negatives I've ever heard about San Diego is the price.
Yeah.
I'm like, well, tell me other negatives. Like, well, there's no other negatives.
That's crazy.
I know. It's always just like, it just costs a lot. And I'm like, oh, okay. I'm okay with a place costing a lot because it's that special of a place.
But I'm like, what do you mean a lot? Like, do you mean New York prices? Do you mean Austin prices?
I know. And that's why I go back to what I said, because all the research I've done, they were like, if you want to raise a family, to get a house, it's going to be over $1 million, kind of like Austin. But if you're renting downtown, you could find a place for $2,500, $2,300, $2,100. You know, like, you're going to find stuff. So it's more, I think, for the people that like want to have a family and a career, it's going to be challenging.
That's
but
true.
if you're like me, I guess, like, I can do whatever I want, you know?
Yeah.
So
that's true.
Yeah.
And there you go. Do you want to ask your question?
Yeah, one that I thought was really good that I got was, what was a moment in Austin, in your life, just any time that you were just like, wow, I'm so grateful to be in this city, or I love Austin so much. And I thought that was a really good one.
It is a really good one. I feel like I've had multiple moments like that.
Okay.
Like one that's, I know this is so cheesy, but like the first time I went to Barton Springs, and I was just like, this is like in the middle of the city?
Yeah.
Like, I was like, what? It's like, I'm from San Antonio, and we just don't have things like that. Like,
I love the videos of was it the Riverwalk?
Yeah.
And then people would be like, we're in Paris, or like something like that.
Yeah, it's not, yeah, it doesn't compare at all. And it was just such like a beautiful day, and I just couldn't believe that it was so close to downtown, and I was like, wow, I really love living here. I also have that thought every time I see the skyline from a different vantage point. Like I went on
I am a skyline person.
Yeah.
Like, I just like view life differently when I see it. Anyway, but I love it. Like,
same. Like when I went to the top of the Catherine, which is near Auditorium Shores, because my friend lives there, and I saw the full skyline, and I was like, wow, what a great place to live.
oh, my best friends like live there, and they just moved out, and I'm like, could you guys extend your lease? Yeah,
Did you go up there?
yeah.
It's so nice.
And I
then-
was like thinking about social media. I'm like, do you know how many posts I could do up here? Like, the
I
view is
know.
perfect from there.
oh, an episode would be great up there.
Oh, we could probably make that work. I'm sure.
I'll ask my friend.
Yeah, exactly.
And then my boyfriend got me a helicopter tour on my birthday last year, and that was my first time seeing Austin from like the sky.
Cool.
And I was like, wow, what a great place to live.
I know, like going back to what we were just saying, like so many people move here from other cities and stay or come back, and it's because like people want to hate, and especially online, like never go on Reddit. I'm actually starting to learn that. Like I used to be a Reddit person,
You need to stop.
and I've learned that like, and even the people on Reddit were agreeing. Because somebody commented, hey, I got like a job offer in Austin. I want to move here, but I'm seeing so much negative stuff. And like the first upvoted comment was like, oh, don't trust people on Reddit. Like they're just a bunch of people that just like complain and hate. And I think like when you really break it down, sure, you could say, just like San Diego, it's too expensive. Austin, it gets a little too hot in the summer. But what else? Well, I mean, I love everything else. It's like, it kind of feels like that sometimes, you know, it's like great food scene. Nightlife is incredible. If you want to start a family, you could do it. You just got to be like, 20, 30 minutes outside the city, but it's there, right? It's like reachable, So like, there's so much positive. And sometimes people try to complain about like the homeless situation. It's not bad. Like there's, obviously they need help. I'm saying like the people that are complaining that the homeless is bothering, they're not bothering me.
Yeah.
Right?
They don't bother me.
Yeah.
In Portland, they bothered me.
Exactly. That's what I mean. Like compared to other cities, it's not bad. So I know all the people that don't want people to move to Austin, they're probably hating me right now because I'm like, it's such a great city, but just out of a pure love aspect, like it's amazing.
Agreed.
What was my moment?
Did you say one?
I didn't.
Oh, say it.
No, I just realized it. I was like, because I'm like getting off on these tips. Guys, I'm also on my third drink, so like this is where my personality starts to flow.
He needs to go take a nap right now. I got literally so many come to mind. Like my first South by Southwest when I was 21, and the street Dirty Six was just full of musicians playing. I actually watched the Anthony Bourdain episode where he goes to Austin during South by. It's the exact same South by that was my very first one.
Oh my
and I was just like, because he said the year, and I was just like, that was my first South by. And again, music in the streets, everyone's like having a great time, drinking. I'm 21, so I never had a fake, so it was my first time actually going to the bars. And I'm just like, wow, this place is alive. Like, I belong here. And that was when I actually drank way too much. So
I love that. That actually, I'm like so grateful for this conversation because it feels like when you're online, like we do social media. So you have to be there. You have to like read all the comments, and sometimes it just feels like it's such a negative space. So for us to just like talk about it in this perspective, it's like so refreshing,
100%.
I was going to say same thing for me. Like my first South by was truly a unique experience. That's part of Austin. South by is also a piece of that. Another thing for me was like ACL Festival, and I don't even just mean like, oh, cool, let's go see a concert at ACL Festival. I mean the whole experience. Like you wake up in the morning, there's this energy of like, I go on my balcony, I see people walking down the street that are happy. They're getting their breakfast before they start getting ready for the day. And then we like hop on a scooter and the sun is out. We stop at a bar and we see like the same regulars that we've seen before. We have a drink and then we go to the festival and the sun's going down. It's the sunset and you're watching your favorite band with the city skyline behind the stage. It's just like, oh my God, this is like one of the most magical places in the US. You know what I mean?
100%. I did get that same feeling at Lollapalooza in Chicago.
Oh yeah, they beat Austin.
Well, their skyline like right there. I was like,
right
whoa.
there. I mean, that's like number one when it comes to that.
But again, I went to that concert at Auditorium Shores where the skyline was right there. And I was like, we need more concerts here.
How cool would that be if like ACL was like, this year we're doing a spin-off where we're going to have one stage there.
Right? Well, you went to Blended, right?
Yeah.
That was right there.
Yep.
See how much time we have.
Yeah, I know we took like at least 10.
It's at an hour.
Oh, and it just died.
Hey everyone, sadly our battery died on the camera, so we had to end the episode a little bit early, but we pretty much talked about everything we wanted to, so we will see y'all next week. Cheers.